telling you, this is pure gold. I love it. I use it all the time, and I love interacting with different platforms. So I will show you one more thing before we proceed. This code, and I will give you the code, but if someone wants to try, it works here in Unity, but also it works in our good friend, Rhino. It works in our good friend Rhino, and I will give you this information as well. So let's say I start Grasshopper. And we're very close to finish this session today. Sorry, I'm opening Grasshopper. It takes a while because I have so many libraries. So here, I have the same thing. I'm connecting to API 2. I'm sending just like whatever JSON file. And this code is a C# script that is basically doing exactly what I just implemented in Unity. So you see that this is right now not getting the information properly because let me move this here. All right, you need to have this on top in order to get it. So you see that this is getting the information in real time. So this allows you to get machine learning inside Unity, but at the same time in Grasshopper. We're implementing PostNet inside Grasshopper. It's so like super simple code. Now, I mean, I won't go into details, but you can parse this information like easily with like, this is deserializing the JSON. For this one, I'm using JSwan. That is a plugin. I could have done it myself, but I'm using that JSwan plugin that you can deserialize JSON. And with that, you get an array. And with that array, you can just like parse and get the information, like whatever. So awesome. I get super excited with this type of things because I don't know if you use like BIM at all, but if you're using Revit, for example, the same code will work in Revit. So you can use, I don't know why would you want PostNet and Revit, but you might. Or like any other machine learning model on Revit to take like, I don't know, to do like regression, classification, you can do it. But let's finish this code. We're getting just one pose, but we want to move an object, let's say, and we have 20 minutes to finish that, more than enough. We will do another iList, also a JSON object. And that JSON object, we will call it not poses. Let's just call it pose, and it will be equal to JSON that select token, and that, sorry, we will say like not JSON, sorry. This will be equal to poses 0. We don't need to iterate through all the poses that we have. We know that we're only getting one pose. In this case, it's me. So we will say that from that pose detected, that we know that we're detecting that pose, we will do select token, and that token is the pose. So you see here, down here, we want to access to this JSON object, JSON like data. So we need to call it with pose. That's the token. That's the name, the value of this, like let's say like dictionary. And we will do exactly the same thing. So we will say here like select token. Let me make this bigger so we don't have problems with that. Select token. From here, we want to select the key points. and then say select. And here we can do exactly the same thing that we did before. We can say s arrow function to iterate, cast this object as JSON object, s. So basically we're getting the information and we're casting it as a JSON object, and then we're turning this into a list. So this will give us all the information of the key points. So debug that log pose, for example, 0. We're not debugging poses anymore, just pose. If I move this here, I save the code, and now if I execute this, you see that now it's giving me the specific information of the nose. That is the first key point. So with that nose, you can now get more information. So let's see what type of information we can get. We will say that string x position will be equal to pose 0 dot select token position. Now we want to access this object here, position, that select token. Here we would just want to get the x position, so we do x that to string. So now we're getting, because this is a text information, so we're getting from this token x, we're getting that number as a text. But now the only thing that we need to, let's get also y. So we will call this string y position, and instead of getting the x position, we will get the y value. And we will debug, we'll say like x position plus x pos, and we will debug this y position. So let's see if this works. We should see the values here. We will execute this. Perfect. You see, we're getting x pos and y pos. One by one. That is amazing. And yeah, actually I didn't change this to y pos. That is good. Actually, we can do it just in one line, so we don't get like x pos. So this is colon plus y pos plus y pos. That is good. So let's control a game object. I will leave it up to you so you can experiment, and you will show me your results in the next session. We will just create a simple game object. So that game object will be like the typical sphere that I just showed you. So this is a sphere. So imagine that this could be also, I don't know, like the target for a robotic arm. I will show you that with ML agents next. But like the target, the end effector position. So you can control it with your hand, or you can control it with your in the case with the position of my nose, that is actually the position of my head. So I have this here. This is a sphere. Let's increase the size of the sphere just for the sake of the demonstration. Here we have the sphere. I hate the color of the sky in Unity, so I will change it to something like this. I will move this a little bit. Also, I hate using perspective in Unity. I like the orthographic view. main camera, you see, our game object is at the center. So let's modify our code. Here we will say that public game object gobj. So we can assign a public game object variable, and the last thing that we will do, we'll just say game object that transform that local position is equal to new vector 3 expose, but we need to actually this will give us an error, so we need to do the following: float that parse expose, comma, we need to give this game object a y coordinate, so we will do the same thing. Float that parse y pos, and the c value, the depth, will be 0. So that's fine. So again, because we're getting the x position as a string, we need to convert this to a float number, to a decimal number. So we do that by casting the value. This is casting in programming, to casting it as a float. So we do this. We will build our code to see that we don't get like any error. Fantastic. So now if we go to HTTP listener, we will see that we have a slot to assign our game object. This is why we made it public. So we will just drag our sphere here. And having, again, the server running, we will do some magic. Oh, the values are too high. So we need to do one more thing, sorry. We will just divide the value of expose divided by 100 and ypos divided by 100. F, so it knows it's a float. We'll build it again. We have our server running, everything updated. All right, so you see now, let me move actually my camera a little bit. So you see now that this ball is going with the position of my head. Actually, I need to invert the coordinates, but if I move to one side or to the other side, we are getting the information that we want. Isn't this like amazing? So basically with this, today we created our own Barracuda type of implementation. The good thing about this is that with this implementation, we have Unity, but also we have our good friend grasshopper running our machine learning model. So I will finish the class here. If you have any comment, please post it on the chat. Let me know if you liked the class today. It was intensive, but you can see that finally at the third class, we're getting like amazing results. So the next session, we will do an exercise with machine learning agents, ML agents inside Unity, and we'll try to mix it with the things that we implemented today. So did you like today's class? Yes, no? Are you sleeping? I know it's late.
Yes.
Good? All right. Is this useful for your projects in studios? Hopefully.
Yes, it's very helpful.
Also, trust me, you will learn more cool things. This is pure gold, people. I'm telling you, this is pure gold. So yeah, I see like, yes, yes, yes. Okay, good. Tell your professors how amazing these tutorials are. I know that is a lot, like the learning curve is steep. It's a lot of coding. I'm going through a lot of languages, but I mean, this is things that you learn in one semester, and I'm trying to condense and show you examples on how to implement these things. So, okay, ultra hardcore. Thank you, Kelvin. It is really advanced, let me tell you. I mean, this is, I put this together last night because I wanted to do something more advanced that will allows us to implement and mix this with ML agents. So yeah, this is pure gold. Probably also I will at some point make something more advanced, but not for this workshop, but I will publish it in my YouTube channel. I will also send you the information about that in case you don't have it. But if you follow me on Instagram, you will see where it is. So yeah, have a nice weekend. I'll see you on Monday. And yeah, play with this. Try to implement other models. I will post all the files and all the codes as soon as I have the video edited. So have a nice weekend. See you.
See you. Bye.
Bye bye.